the station. But I couldn't flee the nerve he'd struck. I'd pulled up and out from my childhood ghetto, where we lived in a flat with a coal-burning stove, cringing from my black father when he raged about the racists on his job. And yet people still challenged my identity and tried to place me outside who I knew I was, because my light skin is beyond their binary understanding of race in the United States. But blackness was my essence. I reveled in it, loved jive talk, grew up to diligently object to racism, from store clerks following my husband on suspicion of stealing to corporate foot-dragging on hiring blacks. With black people, my people, I could be myself, safe from harassment or having to filter myself for white people's benefit. There, in that South Carolina gas station, I was black, according to my family, society's one-drop rule, and my government-issued birth certificate. It was culturally and legally ridiculous to wonder if I wasn't, because the biological fact of my birth was completely beside the point and counted for nothing. My beloved mother is white. 1. Code switch. My identity has always been tangled up in the fraught definitions of America's racism, just as it was a few years later when I drove onto the World Corporate Headquarters campus nestled back in low, rolling New Jersey hills, along with thousands of other professionals. Like them, I was suited up and carrying a presentation for the day's meetings. Unlike the others, I was black and female. I shut off Smokey Robinson's sweet crooning and took a minute to shape-shift into my oh-so-heavy white mask and to rehearse the code switching needed to get my ideas across to white colleagues. Then I walked briskly through the maze of corridors to my office. It was 1977. My job managing part of the national marketing strategy for telephone companies' business communications products was an ever-growing pile of assignments, most labeled urgent or very urgent, all due yesterday. That meant hammering out agreements with a team of engineers, lawyers, accountants, sales managers, and factories. The work was intense, but I was up to it. The real challenge was being respected as an equal in one of America's largest companies, dominated by white males. Their normal old boy power was my mountain to climb. But I was on it, as was my husband Luther, who had gotten a Department of Defense job here in New Jersey after we fled that hellacious mess down south. At least up north in New Jersey, people were more inclined to treat blacks fairly, which was some comfort. That didn't include the police, who routinely made the news profiling men stopped for driving while black. At work, the company's legal compliance with affirmative action was an established procedure, though a human resources rep had called me about a form I'd turned in the first day at orientation. She had just one question about my profile. "Well, if it's okay, can you tell me why you checked the racial category black at the bottom?" she asked. "I have to make sure it's accurate for the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission report is all. For the government, you know." "You are asking what race I am, is that it?" "That's not illegal, is it?" I told her I marked black because I am black, and the form was correct. "It's just, when I saw you, I didn't think—" In a flurry of awkward thank yous, she hung up. At least she asked the gas attendant's "what are you" question with some respect. When we started working in New Jersey last year, Luther and I made up our own continuing education program at home, because doing our work and keeping our noses clean was just the ante to get jobs like ours. To earn our seat at the table, we black first-generation college grads had to polish our facades and up our gamemanship. We inspected each other's body language in the dining room while practicing presentations, editing out any black English and mannerisms. During Sunday football, Luther related quarterback calls and strategic blocking and tackling to being in the corporate game. "You're dealing with power players. They don't want to talk, they want to win," he said. We made plans and contingencies for our projects and practiced speaking in headlines. As I stood in the walk-in closet in my pantyhose, Luther had me recite the headlines to use at work. "Just say what the problem is and the actions you recommend for fixing it. If they want details, they'll ask. No chit-chat." I read Dress for Success.